So ma'am, if you're ready, we can start the session.
Yeah, Prashant, I am ready, but I can see only 33 people are here. I think this is the FDP, which is attended by around 100 people.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I will write a message in the group and request everyone to join.
Okay. I saw Professor Sharma has also joined.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. I think I can start because it's already 2:30.
So ma'am, let the other people join, and meanwhile we can start the session, and I hope that everyone will be joining soon.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah.
So I mean, all right, ma'am, thank you. So good afternoon to everyone. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you all for the first session of the 5th day of FDP, that is categorically dedicated to higher education 4.0. Today, we have Professor Haritma Chopra with us. If you are working here in Delhi University, she is a known face. I think most of us know her already. But for a brief introduction, Professor Haritma Chopra is the principal of Maitri College, University of Delhi. She has almost served 30 years in higher education, working with full dedication to uplift the higher education since 1995. She has done her master's and PhD from University of Delhi, and her area of research engages with aspects of health and environment. She also received a fellowship from the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, and she has numerous publications to her credit at both national and international level. Professor Chopra is also a board member of various committees constituted by UGC and University of Delhi. She is also on the panel of government educational bodies such as NCRT, CBSE, IEEE, and NISR. Professor Chopra has been instrumental in the development and review of curriculum for various academics level and is currently a member of chemistry course writers panel with Sashakt, one-stop education portal, a project of the Ministry of HRD, Government of India. She is also a member of the NAAC peer review committee. Professor Chopra is the editor-in-chief of the bilingual open access peer-reviewed magazine, Samvedana. This magazine particularly engages with crucial and relevant gender debates and is a step in the direction of creating a gender-sensitive society. Professor Chopra is also the editor-in-chief of the peer-reviewed research journal, Vantage, a journal of thematic analysis. On her account to her administrative role, she has been a significant principal. I mean, if you look at all the colleges, under her leadership as the officiating principal, Maitri College, the institution has witnessed landmark achievement, both in the national and the university level. The college pulled ranking 35 from its earlier position 83rd. This is a remarkable upliftment if you see the thing. Professor Chopra has also encouraged active engagement in extracurricular aspects as well. She is the coordinator of Nodal Sports Center for PWD Sasak and Nodal Sports Center for Girls Pragati. She is the vice chairperson of Central Zone Netball Development Committee. Now, today, our topic of the discussion is linking education to society through research, the concept practice of college research club. Now, over to Chopra.
Yeah, thank you, Prashant, for your generous introductions. Thank you so much. And we all are part of this institution. We all are working under the umbrella of University of Delhi. And most of us, because I know that this is the session which is mainly attended by the faculty members from Lakshmi College. Am I correct?
Yes, most of us from Lakshmi College, but there are other professors from other universities as well. So we have faculty members from Kerala, from Northeast India, and also some people from UP and other places.
Okay. Acha, Prashant, can you see the screen now? Can you see the slide?
No, ma'am. Right now we can't. You haven't started presenting.
I have started.
We are unable to see them.
Just a minute.
All right.
Because I just witnessed now it is appearing on the screen that sorry, an error has occurred while screen sharing. So we cannot share your screen.
So, ma'am, can you please retry it? Like even if you...
Yes, let me try this again.
I would suggest you can send the PPT to Prashant. Prashant can play.
Okay, sir. Let me try once. If I'm able to do so, it's okay. Otherwise, I will be sending you them.
All right, ma'am.
I have joined. Maybe I'll see that if I'm able to do so now. Right?
Okay. Now we can see your slide, ma'am.
Prashant, you can see the slides?
Yes, ma'am. I can see.
Okay. So I hope it is okay now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So a very good afternoon to one and all who have joined this session. And it is indeed an opportunity. It is indeed an honor for me to be a part of this faculty development program. I'm sure that all of you must have been a part of the yesterday's program, which was the celebration of centenary year of Delhi University, wherein Honorable Prime Minister of the country was also there, Narendra Modi ji. And when he was talking, he spoke at length about what should be the vision of the country and University of Delhi as a whole. Is there any echo? Because I feel that there is some problem. Or are you able to hear me properly?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you properly.
Okay. That's fine with me then. So I was talking about the yesterday's program, which happened because it was a historic moment for the University of Delhi. And our PM sir, he applauded University of Delhi for implementing National Education Policy 2020. And he was saying that because the vision of the country is now that by 2047, India has to be among the developed nations. And when we are doing this, and another thing that he emphasized was that because when the country would be celebrating 100 years centenary celebrations of the country, then at that time University of Delhi would be celebrating 125 years of its existence. And with every niche, with every year that passes by, the university is bound to make bound to make or achieve certain milestones which would be recorded in the history. And this is again a very important thing that that this year when our colleges and University of Delhi especially participated in the QR rankings, it was a debut only, and this year the University of Delhi is among the top 500 universities. So he also emphasized that maybe with time to come, University of Delhi should be among the top universities in the entire world, because the way we work, the way we all have been functioning, it's altogether different. Because when we are imparting higher education to the students, we not only we want them to be good in their education, good in having the foundation knowledge, but we also emphasize on their holistic development, where we are talking about how they should be sensitive to the society. They should understand what the society needs, and accordingly they should be working. So they have to make a definite contribution in the nation building also. And yesterday, because Maitreyi College got the opportunity to put up the exhibition also, and where for Maitreyi College, we use the tagline that Anveshan, Samaveshan and Evam Rashtra Nirman ki Treyi, Yahi hai Maitreyi. And because we feel that research has to be actually in the core, it has to be the core of any higher education institution. And many times people wonder that, because when we talk about research, we say that research means something that is happening in the wet labs, something that is happening in the labs of botany, zoology, chemistry, or physics. We don't even go beyond that. We think that research, and many of the educational institutions wherein science is not there as one of the major disciplines, where the students are mainly pursuing their graduation in social sciences or in commerce, there many times people wonder that what can we do in research, because there is nothing to be done. Research is done by the scientists. And I personally, and this is what even at the college everybody feels, that when we talk about science, science is for the society. So when we have to understand what the society needs, and basis that only we can carry out some research work. And when we have to think on those lines, it means the importance of people who are in the stream, who are pursuing in the streams of social sciences, who are working, who are studying these streams of maybe commerce, economics. They actually play a very important, vital role in deciding that what should be the frontier areas of research in science, because they know what the society, what everybody needs. So it is very important at this point that we should have something so that we can thread them together. And that is why it has been very beautifully actually incorporated in the national education policy, wherein it is being talked about that when we are saying research, when we are talking about research, we are using the word not research, we are saying that scientific temperament. We are talking about departments. We are talking in terms of interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary departments. We are not saying that science department or social science departments. We are using one institution as it is a house where different domains, different subjects, they flourish. And as a faculty member, it is our responsibility to nurture all these things. And one very important question that should arise in our mind is that when we talk about this national education policy, if you look at the way it has been designed, because a lot of emphasis has been laid on imparting skill education, in fact, the vocational education, even at the school level. Because if you look at just the statistics, I'm not sharing the exact numbers, but I can say that when you look at the statistics, it says that in India, about 80 to 90% of the population, of the children, they get the opportunity to go in for their primary education. They, at least because it is one of our fundamental rights, right to education. So everybody gets the opportunity. And when we are born on the earth, it is on Mother Earth, it is the responsibility as the citizen of any country, or it on humanitarian grounds also, that whosoever is living on this earth has the right to live with dignity. So it means everybody should have enough skills so that they are able to lead a respectable life. And that is why a lot of emphasis has been laid on imparting ethical values and the vocational training even at the school levels, because the number of people who are studying at the school, and when we talk about higher education, the number of students who actually get into higher education is not even 1/10 of the number of students who are studying in the schools. And that is why when we talk about anything different which is happening, or the infrastructural changes in the economy, changes or different changes, so these are the changes are to be driven by the youth who is getting admission into the higher education institutions. So the purpose is that we have to provide an environment in every college that the student who gets into this, when they leave this institution after 3 years, 4 years, now again a flexibility is given. They can leave after 1 year, second year, third year, fourth year. It is up to the student also, that till what time they want to pursue their education. So, and what they want to achieve. So full liberty is given to them. Freedom is given to them to think. So it is our responsibility to ensure that the students are getting the right type of environment in the higher education institution. And that is why nowadays a lot is being talked about higher education institutions. And in fact, you all must be wondering that every time, whether it is UGC or some other government bodies, they are asking for, there is a very frequent submission of data also. We are asked to submit this information or the other information. Being in the college, you must be knowing that every time you are handling with the data. The purpose is that we want to understand the students who are getting admission into these higher education institutions, what they intend to do, what are their future plans, are they future ready? So these are the questions which are coming into our mind. Prashant, I hope I'm clearly audible. You are able to hear me properly?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you properly.
Okay. And so many things when we have to understand what the students are doing, what they intend to do in times to come. And when we talk about developing their scientific temperament, when we talk about science, it means we have to be very observant. We should know what is happening around us. So understanding our surroundings, understanding our environment, this is nothing but science. And that is why, if you must be, when we were children, when we were studying in our schools, we never said, so we used to use the words for with history, civics, we used to call this as social studies. but now we call it as social science because we have to understand what is happening. So it is no longer social studies. We always term this as social science, sciences, languages. And languages is a thread which actually is connecting the science with social sciences because communication becomes very important. And in fact, with the now the way AI is coming up, it is becoming very important for us to understand that how the future would be. And we as a faculty members, it is our responsibility to ensure that the students to whom we are imparting knowledge, they are ready for the future. And if I take a very simple example, because this is very many times I quote that when we talk about science, we say that developing analytical critical skills. These skills are very important. We use these skills even in our day-to-day life. I always give a very simple example that any one of us, because we know that to live, we need to eat food. And when we need to eat food, we need to cook that. And for that, we have to go to the market to buy the raw vegetables also. So when you go to the market, even if you want to buy 1 kg of potato or even onions, you look at each and every piece of it. You do the analysis. You actually look at it, whether this is good, whether this is looking fresh, or it is a stale one, or it is a hard one, it is a soft one. So even with one small vegetable, you do so many things. You analyze it before you do the purchasing. So how can we say that these components, or we say that these skills are required only by those students who are doing research or those students who are pursuing sciences? These are the skills which are required by every individual who is living on this earth. And when these students, because when you are talking about the expansion, because the students who are moving out of this higher education institution, that is the undergraduate students, these students, and that is why if you look at this, nowadays at this present moment, the emphasis is only on how the undergraduate institutions are working. Because from this set of students who are coming here, I'm sure you all must have seen that in your class also, if I have a group of 40 students in a class, then out of those 40 students, even if a student has taken admission in economics honors, say, but there would be few students who are interested in taking some job after completing their graduation. There are some students who want to they want to pursue their masters or do their research because they want to indulge themselves in policy making. There are certain students who have taken admission in economics honors. They are doing this, but their heart lies in some extracurricular things. They are very good. They are very creative. They have their inclination towards fine arts. They have their inclination towards music, towards dance, and they want to pursue their career in that. So all these things. So even in one classroom, you have diversification. And as a faculty, as a teacher, it becomes our responsibility that when we look at the class, that we should be able to understand what the child needs. So one-to-one understanding, it becomes very important and then as an institution as a whole, it is our responsibility that in the college, we are able to provide an infrastructure which is able to address the needs of every student whosoever is taking admission in the college. Because when every student has something to take away, then we know that after 3 years, every student who is coming out of this institution will have some acquired skill set. And these skill set, many times, these would be the skill set which would be acquired over the period of time. And in many of the skills, maybe they would be working, they would be enhancing their competence in what their passion is, and maybe they will convert their passion into their career. So once after these 4 years, 3 to 4 years, these are very transformative years. after this only the student would actually decide what they want to do and what they should be doing. And this was very important. And when we were thinking on those lines in our college at Methray, we thought that how to address this problem, from where to get started with. Because we say that if we want our student to be a good researcher, if she wants to be a very good academician, a very good researcher, she would be pursuing her doctorate in that. But when she goes for the doctorate degree, as a teacher, we felt that she should be aware of nuances of research. That is, how to select a research problem, what is the research methodology, how to go about it, and there are so many problems which are around you, how would you select a particular problem as a research problem? And when you are doing this, how important is that your research is an ethical research? Ethical research means you should know that you have to give desired recognition to everyone. Whosoever work you are taking, you have to address that. So proper citation, referencing, plagiarism, these are the words with which the students should be familiar at the college level only. Because if they are aware of these things, then they know their path is very clear. And then when they go for higher education, when they go for their research work in a proper, they would be able to do it in a proper manner. And moreover, maybe in a shorter duration of time, they would be able to come up with something which is more distinct, and that is what is being desired by the society at large. And so keeping these things in mind, we thought that let us do something in the college which is dedicated to the undergraduate students only. And because these are the students who are our youth is our future, and they have to make a society which is livable for all. And that is why they have to be very sensitive, they have to understand. So keeping all these things in mind, we started with something which I would be sharing with you now. And another thing, because when we talk about nowadays also, when the research is being talked about, research work done in the colleges is being talked about. But in those cases, if we do the analysis, most of the time the focus is on the research which is done by the faculty and their PhD students. So in our college also, there are about 13 teachers who have been recognized as supervisors. PhD students are doing PhD under them, and they are doing their own work. They are publishing that work also. Teachers in our college till date, the teachers have filed, they have been granted 6 patents, out of which 2 are international patents. In one of the patent where the work was done by a teacher at National Physical Laboratory, there has been a technology transfer also. So many things have been done. But when I am in this presentation, when I'm focusing on research, these are the areas where we are not talking about what the PhD students are doing. I'm talking about what our undergraduate students do and how we mold them and how the faculty as a whole is engaged. Because I'm sure that all of you must be aware that in the second year of UGCF, in this case, the students, they have to take up entrepreneurship, they have to take up either internship as their course, which is now a credit course. So a lot of opportunities have to be developed in-house, because otherwise you will not be able to cater to the requirement of every student, because industry cannot absorb every student. You have to make the student industry ready. So that initial preparation has to be done in the college only. And keeping these things in mind, so this was the brief introduction. And now I will start with what we have done, so that just to give you an idea about that, whatever I'm talking about, it is not a hypothetical thing, and it is not a difficult thing. It is a doable thing, and it can be easily achieved. The only thing is that we need to be passionate about it, and we have to work in a very collaborative manner. These are a few things which I wish to share because our college, Maitreyi, was established in the year 1967 and it is named after the Vedic sage Maitreyi. Maitreyi was wife of Rishi Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya, he was a very renowned name during Vedic period because and in his ashram only, the goddess Sita took her basic education. And in our college, it caters to about 3,700 students. We are offering 17. These 17 courses are the undergraduate courses I am talking about. And during the second cycle of NAC accreditation, our college has been conferred with A++ grade. And our college is also a star college. And it was among the top 6 colleges in the entire country which were conferred with star status by the Department of Technology. The college got this status in the year 2013 itself. Since then, the college is bearing this status, and there has been a change in the ranking also from 86. Now we are at 36. And when I talk about, because this is what I have discussed earlier also, that I was saying that when we looked at the students who are entering into the college, we observed that the students are from different background. They are very energetic, but they are very confused. They are not able to decide that what is their coursework, career, and passion. And then there are different programs, but there was little connect between them. And now these things have been addressed in NEP also. So to overcome this, we thought that we need to have a vision, and basis our vision, we have to design our mission also. So we thought that let Maitreyi be established as a knowledge center which empowers women with skills which are desired both by industry and academia, and adaptability of stakeholders to cope up with various situations, and also to inculcate inclusive environment. And for that, we thought the first step is to instill critical and analytical skills by providing research blended learning. And by offering various skill enhancement courses, we have to promote ethics. This is what I just discussed with you when I was briefing about what is the intent of doing these things. And this is how we started with, because since college got the star status in 2013, we were getting enough grants from the Department of Biotechnology, from which using that money, the college receives crores of rupees, and using that money, we could buy instruments for various laboratories, and we could have the basic infrastructure to get started with the research programs. And then in 2017 only, in fact, we were wondering in 2017 that now because this star grant is given for a stipulated period of 9 years only. So we were thinking that what would we be doing now, because now we will not be getting any grants. Then in that year only, in 2017, we received a mail from every college must have received that it is mandatory for all colleges to have a committee, which is advisory committee for professional grooming. So under this committee only, we thought that let us get started with something wherein we are able to use the resources in the college and contribute in the growth of the institution and the community at large by using whatever resources, whatever we have. And we involved our students also. And then in 2018 only, we established the Center for Research in the college. And this center, because we have an incubation center which promotes experiential and experimental learning. And this incubation center, it has 2 heads, Center for Research and Entrepreneurial Cell, because we know that the students at this time, as I was sharing, that the students, they come with different needs. So there are many students who want to they have the leadership skills, they have the acumen that they can do something on their own, they can think beyond the boundaries, the out of the box thinking. And instead of looking for some jobs, or we can say that job seekers, they are job givers. So we established a separate cell for them, And I'm very happy to share that at this moment in the college, we have 15 startups. The students are working. One of our student, when she entered into the college, she had one startup, and within 3 years, she landed up with 3 startups, having a revenue of more than 3 CR to her credit during the 3 years only. And this is the Center for Research, where the focus is, as you can see, it is written here that Center for Research takes the core, it is the center, and it is connecting with everyone with the society through the enabling units. It is promoting the concept of the understanding of pedagogy, ethics, collaborations, then how to reach out extensively, outreach, and how this CFR can help in the help the students in coming up with something on their own only. So this is how all these things are interconnected. And when we talked about objectives, to develop research aptitude among students, to lay emphasis on innovations, to promote research-based pedagogy, and to promote a research-friendly environment in the college, and to encourage students to do preliminary studies that would ultimately lead to extramural projects and startups, and to develop soft skills. These are we say that when we come up with these are the things that we are working, the students, without even realizing, they start working on their soft skills also. And what are the key features of CFR? That we advocate participative and collaborative learning, that it is discipline specific, but at the same time it is interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. Language is not a barrier. The students can do their research work in any language of their choice. And one of the important key feature of our Center for Research is that one of its major initiative is where the research is carried, it is a theme-based research. And these themes are generally driven by the societal needs. And I would be sharing with you the basic few themes also on which our students have worked in past years. And when we choose these themes, then we also engage experts across India to suggest, assess, and inspire. There are various programs of CFR. One, the most important, which is very popular among the students, it is the summer internship program. I wish to share with you all that at this moment also, right now, in the college, we are running 40 projects, not 40, sorry, it is 31 projects. 31 projects under in which the students are working. So even they are during the vacation time, they are in the college, they are working in the labs, they are sitting in the library doing their research work. And because we have students from all disciplines, and even the teachers, faculty members, during the break also they are in the college working with the students to help them. And when the students, they work under the SIP program, then they present their work during the presentation, student presentation, which we call as Avlokan. And how these functions, again, we have developed a proper pedagogy for this. It is not like this that whatever the student submits, we allow them to carry out this project and everybody is doing the presentation. It is not every moment. Selection processes are there, proper rubrics are made, and these selection processes are difficult ones, not the simple ones. And the students, they know, they understand, and because they, besides learning, they also need to have a bit of competitive spirit also. The competition is very necessary for excellence. If everything is readily available, nobody values that. So this competitive spirit needs to be there. I always say that when I say competition, it has to be a healthy one only. And the next program is, because when we are doing the summer internship program, in this program, the students cannot, students are engaged for limited time, but there are many students in first years and second years who are ready to carry out some research work under the mentorship of teachers throughout the year. So they apply for annual research program also. Then the student apprenticeship program is there, training workshops on research methodology, educational trips, then international conference. And another very important feature, the feature of CFR is the publication of a theme-based peer-reviewed biannual journal, which is Vantage Journal of Thematic Analysis. We feel so happy. With pride only, we always say that this is the publication of Maitreyi College, where we are not charging, where the publication is done free of cost. And the editorial board of Vantage comprises of academicians, researchers across the globe. And they all are. So through this Vantage, we have actually been able to do the internationalization of our education. How CFR functions. And this is how, because everything, and these are the roadmap, the way the students, they have to submit. We invite proposals. They are scrutinized by the external reviewers. The students start with the summer internship program. Again, their projects, when they submit their project reports, they are evaluated using rubrics. And then these projects are sent to the external reviewers also for their score. And only those students who score more than 80% are given the opportunity to present their research work during the presentation session, which we call as Avlokan. And when they are presenting their work, again, they are presenting it before the external jury members. So through this, we have been able to connect ourselves with the professors in different departments in Delhi University, in other universities, and across the globe. Many of our advisors are from universities which are in US, UK, and other parts of the country, or other parts of the globe as well. And like when you must be wondering that what do we mean by theme-based? How can these themes be important? How are they linked to the societies? And what are the benefits? How is this work connecting our students with the society? I would give you the few examples only. Like in the year 2019-20, we know that when everybody was in 2020, when the entire world was grappling with COVID, then we thought, because at that time we were confined to our homes, but even at that time the research work did not stop. In fact, many of our faculty members and students, they designed small wet labs in their homes only. They took few material from the college and designed everything at home. Many of the research works were based on maybe some analysis also on the basis of some feedback, and then they designed some forms, and accordingly the data was collected, so it became more database. And I would be sharing certain important things, the things that we actually got out of it. And then the next year we talked about sustainable agriculture. Then we talked about expanding frontiers of knowledge. And this year the students are working on the theme research, development, and social transformation. These are just the statistics which indicates that how many projects, how many students were engaged. And when we talk about different, because the students, they work with different, they are from different disciplines, they're in different languages, but they come up with their projects. They write their projects, the proposal is written by them, and then with the help of the teacher, they submit the proposal basis which revolves around the theme only. And when I will be giving you one theme, like when we talked about, when we started with during the COVID times, what happened, because how different streams, they engage themselves around one theme. Because when we talk about review of therapeutic potential of plant secondary metabolites in the treatment of respiratory viral disease, it was taken up by one of the science departments. Then at the same time, the sociology department took up the project of back inside the Lakshman Rekha, impact of COVID-19 lockdown on working women. And then other important topic that was undertaken by this is what the computer science department do, Skittles, an online shopping website, because it was during that time only we shifted online. Then another department, Department of Commerce and Economics, they studied on how COVID-19 impacted globalization and work culture in offices, a study of India. And then COVID-19 lockdown and pedagogy. In fact, one of our teacher, she was working on a very important parameter, maybe which I would like to share with you before I talk about other things. These are simply the way different events are being conducted in the college. This is a very important thing. Maybe I can come back to it later, but I wish to share with you this one. What happened when during the COVID times, when one of our teachers, she was working, she is blind, and she's thought that I wish to take up a project that how COVID-19 has impacted the people who are not able to see, because even when they walk, they need the support of other people. And in the COVID, people were so hesitant to touch even one another. So what motivated, she is in the Department of English, and she realized that how when we were doing this, the first thing, because during this, when the people were falling sick, it was very important that they are given medicine at the right time. And Professor Smriti Singh, she, as I just shared, she's in the Department of English, and her husband, he is also, he cannot see. So both of them, for them, it was indeed a very difficult task to manage the family as a whole. So she said, she realized that it is very important that on the medicines, there should be a QR code, because only then I will get to know which medicine strip is this and what medicine we are supposed to take at this moment. And during that time only, she wrote to Niti Aayog, she wrote to the PMO office, and the process she initiated. And in fact, within the time, she received a call from the Niti Aayog also, and this was released in the newspaper also. And now I am very happy to say that now all medicine strips, it has been a directive by the government that all medicine strips, they have to have a QR code. So this was initiated by her. So we are so proud of her. And she said that this started because when we were carrying out this research, it motivated. I was thinking what is happening. And when I was looking at what solutions I can have, then this was one of the solutions. And in fact, this has motivated the entire college. We realized that everybody has the right to know and understand. And in our college, products made by different startups, whoever buys their product, they know beforehand only that what they are buying. And in fact, there are many initiatives that have been undertaken by the college only. And we put QR codes, like even the college has a very beautiful startup. We say it is Gulista, where the college in the nursery are Mali and teachers only. They nurture, they get seeds, they nurture plants, and those plants are gifted as the souvenirs to our guest whosoever visits our college. And when we do it like this, then every plant, now the pot carries a QR code also, so that when a plant is gifted, just by scanning at the QR code, you can know that what plant has been given. In fact, our college is a green campus. We have got so many flowers all around. Our teachers, the teachers in the Department of Botany, they have come up with their startup where they're using these dried leaves in the college, because they are spread all around in the college. They have started making beautiful things, and these things carry QR code, so that whosoever buys anything, even if you buy a keyring from them, you know that what plant it is. So this was initiated, and this is how it has mobilized the entire campus, all the teachers. And this is nothing but sensitizing people, making them understand. And at the same time, I also wish to share with you that another important thing that happened, which is connected with this only, that in the COVID times when we were talking about, and today we are having this faculty development program, because the purpose is we want to say that with NEP, with the implementation of UGCF program, the teachers, they need to be equipped. They should know what is the need, what the present generation needs, and how the teachers have to be equipped with those things. So, and we were thinking, nobody ever thought that during the COVID times when we could not connect, and in fact at that time teaching online was a difficult task. Then another question which deliberations were done in our college, and it was that when it is very difficult for us to study online, how difficult would it be for the students who are special children, who are intellectually challenged? How would they be getting this information? How would they be studying through online mode? And at the same time, how difficult would it be for the teachers who are visually challenged? How would they be teaching the students? So it is not only when we talked about the teaching, when we talked about teaching learning process, we never thought that in this process, maybe we are leaving a set of teachers, we are leaving behind a set of students also. So keeping these things in mind, the college designed this 1-week interdisciplinary faculty development program, which was on emerging accessible technologies for people with special needs. So this program was done, and again, it was done in collaboration with this Khalsa College only, with whom this work FDP has also been organized. And I still remember, because this was the FDP which was attended by people across India. So many people were there, and Professor Vimal was there. And during the validatory program, she said that Maitrey College has given us the competition, because in none of the programs so many people attend the FDP program, the number of participants who are here in this particular FDP. So this is how, and the indirect credit goes to the Center for Research, because these things actually made us think on these lines, because we could have forgotten, but when the theme was COVID as its impact, the teachers in every department was thinking on those lines. So that is why I say that research, please, as a teacher, never think that research is something that is related to only science department. In fact, for making the science or the research applicable or useful for the society, the role of people, the members who are pursuing their studies in social sciences and languages become very, very important, because only then a research would be complete. And so these are two examples which I wanted to share with you. And then again, we thought that when we were doing, this is another very important thing which the college undertook. That was because we realized that we have been using English. Now even today's session, primarily we are speaking in English, only the language of communication. But there are many people who, and with NEP where now language is not a barrier. And so we realized that it is very important to integrate Indian language, different languages with digital tools. If the student who is pursuing her graduation in Hindi or in Sanskrit or in Punjabi in our college, they need to be equipped with IT knowledge, that in case they have to make the presentations, they have to present their work online, they should be able to do. And this is the problem which is not faced only by the students of our college. This is a problem which might be faced by people who are in any part of the country. So we came up with this online skill development program, which was applications of digital tools in teaching and learning of Indian languages. And I feel very happy to share that this was the program which was, this program was done in collaboration with the School of Indic Studies, Institute of Advanced Studies, USA. Resource persons were from our college and from US, and none of the resource persons, because our teachers were there. So, but even from US, nobody took any money, no money was involved. the thought was only to impart education so that everybody is at par. They have the right, they are at equity, they are equitable. And this course was offered free of cost to the students. And in fact, it was the course which was not only attended by students, but by the faculty members, researchers, because they said it has actually been a great help. Because when we are doing our research in the online mode using different tools, different journals which are available using e-library, how to do these things, how to carry out, how to write something in Hindi or in other language, everything was taught in this course. And this was the course which was attended by 2,700 people at the same time. When 2,700 people at that time, it was the program was we were having we did it through Zoom platform. People were connected, and it was at the same time we were doing the YouTube live streaming. And at the third mode that we did was that we adopted the flipped mode also, where because this course was in fact attended by few people who were living in different parts of the world. So timeline should not be a barrier. So all resources persons, when their lectures were recorded, it were uploaded on the YouTube channel of Enabling Unit so that they could watch it later and then join. So 2,700 people wrote the exam for this particular course. And so it was a big, and this is how we thought that this establishment of Center for Research was just a seed which is now flourishing, and it has spread its wings across different parts, not only in the college, but across the globe, where we are connecting with the students, with the people, with different people. You can see that this is the center in the college. Because we realize that these are the facilities which are being developed by the college, and being a government institution, these facilities, this is a public funded college. So when we are getting this, it is very important for us to give back to the society also. So that is why the college has established a center which we call as Sashakt, so that everybody is empowered. You can see that these are the people who are, in fact, these are the people who are the members of the the committee. They are working in different institutions, different companies also, and they are representing India at national and international forums and wheel-bound basketball championships. So they come to our college, they do their practice sessions in the evenings on Saturdays and Sundays. And you would be surprised that by doing all these things, what happened that many of our students who are also there with them, you can see that these are our girls who are standing next to them. They are there to help them, to play with them, and they come to the college even on Sundays. A few of our non-teaching staff, they are working 365 days. So when you are establishing something, it is not by one. It is the role of the teachers, the role of the non-teaching staff, the role of the students. Everything becomes very, very important. And that is why in the beginning only I said that the focus is on participative and collaborative teaching and learning. Because unless these words, it is simple to say, but when you are actually implementing, you need a support of a lot of support from others. And when everybody is coming readily, in fact, on one of the days, I just wish to share, it's an informal one only. I was in the college on Sunday around 6 o'clock. I saw a few girls. I did not realize at that time, somehow I had forgotten that this program, the students must be there with these people who are on the wheelchair. I asked them, what are you doing in the college at this time? So they simply, ma'am, we are here since morning, because they were practicing and they have to participate in one of the competitions. So we are there to play with them so that they are ready. So this is how making the students sensitive towards the society, understanding their needs. So this all has evolved by by the conceptualization or by the inception of this Center for Research in the college. And if another thing which I wish to share with you is that, because when the students, they come and participate, what happens when you are doing something, the students could see that they are getting the opportunity to present. It has changed so many things in the college. This is our journal, various issues of the journal I am just sharing. And again, everything is managed by the teachers, the website, the issue, everything. And that is why we are not charging anything. It has no publication cost, because how do we generate this money? Because when we are getting it printed and other things, website management, the college organizes international conference Equinox. And with Equinox, the registration fees that we collect from the participants, this money is used in sustaining the journal. And this year also, in the month of August, we are having this international conference. And this year, the topic is research, development, and social transformation. So all the faculty members who are here, in case they wish to participate in this conference, present their work, they can do that, and they can register themselves. So we have the annual international conference on a particular theme. And on the same theme, we publish our journal, because we want to see the role, the idea behind is that when we are doing something in our college on a particular theme, and we know that now even the geographical boundaries are no longer boundary, they are no longer separators. So we should know what is happening in different parts of the country, of the world. So that is why we invite publication, we invite papers, research papers, original articles, review articles on the same theme from academicians across the globe. And every year we have international researchers also getting their work published in this journal. So through this journal, I said that Maitrey College has initiated a step of internationalization of education, where all academicians from different countries, they are on the same platform. So this is another thing. So these are the things which all have originated from Center for Research. And this is how we are connecting ourselves with the society through the masses, then to the academicians, to the researchers across the globe. So it appears that now everything is confined within a small group only. So this is how the journal, and what has happened is another thing that has helped the students, because the students, when we are very happy to see that even when the students submit their research, their assignments in the college for different subjects, they are very particular. They check their plagiarism. They submit those reports also. Every department is now coming up with their department publications also. You will see that the college has ample number of publications, every department, but the college has framed certain guidelines also for them, and they follow those guidelines, and everything, whatever is being published. And in fact, it has given a new creative bent to our students, because like the Department of Botany, when they publish their magazine, let me share with you, look at this. When the departments, they come up with their publication, these are all publications which are available on their e-format, soft copies are available on the college website. Before doing this, we have a separate committee to whom the department submit their publications, and these publications have the editorial board comprising of students. They are helped by the teachers, but they are mainly handled by the students only, and they are submitted to the committee advisory for professional grooming. They go through their contents to check that whether these are in line with what the guidelines are. And important thing is whatever, because I have seen that most of the time when the students, they have some pictures in these magazines, they always write from where, they always mention the source also, whether they design it, whether they take it, but they know that what ethical writing is, how they have to practice this. So they are working on their content writing also. And they have come up with such beautiful magazines, the way they're written. And another important thing was that happened is, because these magazines are by the department, so everything in these magazines is related to that department. So if a department of mathematics or economics, they come up with there, so all articles related to this, even if there is a small poetry, then that poetry also revolves around their subject only. It is not on a general topic. So the students have learned to express themselves, how to in the prose form, in every form. So they know how to write in the poetry form. They make beautiful collages, they make beautiful pics. So everything is done by them only. And they come up with, you can see that these are the magazines which are coming every year by the different departments. So this is how we say that we just have to initiate. Once we started with this, so many things have coming in a row, one after the other, which we could not even stop, right? And the students are very happy to do these things. There are so many other things which I can talk about at this point, but maybe I would like to stop sharing now. And I wish to have an open interaction in case something is there in your mind which you wish to share with me, you want to ask, we can have some discussions. Because I have given you a basic line that how things work, how you have to work systematically, and how from one thing the other things originate and the things they spread. And it is up to you, the way you want to do it, you can do this. And this is what we always say, that at Maitreyi, we believe that you teach what you practice, and our teachers across different disciplines work together to instill critical thinking and conceptual understanding by promoting continuous sustained research. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Chopra, for a wonderful demonstration of how a research can be done in undergraduate with undergraduate students. Now, I think that after this presentation, we can have a few questions. Like if any participant has any question, can raise their hand, and we can simply have these questions.
Thank you, Alka ji.
Mr. Prashant, I would just like to express my pleasure and gratitude to Ma'am Chopra. The way
Yes,
she has presented, can you hear me?
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Totally amazing presentation by you. I'm awestruck, basically. I have been looking after the collaborations, and I've been the nodal officer for add-on courses at my college. And we are just thinking a little bit out of the box, but you have opened the box for us. There's so much that can be done with the students and the faculty. I think all the faculty members here present would have been amazed by the work they have done, Maitreyi has done. Truly wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are an inspiration for all of us, I think.
Because what I realized that because the students, two important things that we need to know is that because in our colleges we have about 4,000 students, it itself is a big market, right? And when we all are here, because as a teacher, we have been appointed after a lot of grilling also, and we all have accomplished in our particular spaces also. So many times what happens is that we look for resource persons outside the college. I have changed this also. I always give preference to my teachers being the resource persons of different programs, because the teachers, when they are connecting with the students, they know what type of students we have with us. We understand from what their basis is. And in fact, I'm very happy that our teachers have designed so many certificate programs also, where the teachers are the these courses are being launched in the flip mode. They are the resource persons. They have developed their videos, so they are working on their competence. And the students, because we know that what they want. So in fact, one of the course which is being launched by the mathematics department, the last month only, they launched that program, which was attended by 100 people. Around 70 were from our college, but 30 students from different parts of the country. Many of them were from south of India. They attended that program and they were saying the way it was being taught, because we understand that this course is for undergraduate students, what they know and what they do not know. So accordingly, the entire program was designed, and the teachers are also happy because this gives them the feeling of satisfaction that they have done something beyond what they have been doing, because teaching the same curriculum, though thanks to the university, every year the course is changing. So we are working on it, but somehow still it becomes monotonous that you are teaching the same thing. So even there is some variation. So many things. The only thing is, yes, you need to have a proper environment, and the teachers should have, when you have passion, when you feel connected with your institution, you can do so many things. And when the teachers are like this, students are bound to follow the same.
True. Very well said, ma'am. Very well said. And I think we are following a bit over here. Like we have an add-on course, an online add-on course, where we got 70 students from all across India.
Yes.
So it was on counseling and guidance, and the feedback was amazing. So that online mode has really opened up doors for so much of sharing of knowledge with each other.
In fact, we say that because as an Indians, we know that how to convert all obstacle into an opportunity.
Absolutely.
And in fact, COVID time has given us so much. We have learned so many things from COVID also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Haritma.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can we have another question if someone is having it in their mind?
So can I ask one more? How do you inspire your teachers to spend their vacations in the college and so much of the time for all these research projects? I mean, sometimes it is difficult for our colleagues to spend so much time in the college, no, because of the family pressures and other.
Yes, it is there. It is there. But the thing is that maybe because what I have realized is, as I was saying, that everyone who has got a job in Delhi University, a person, it has acquired a certain level of knowledge and skill set, and only then the person has got the opportunity to be a part of this. So the only thing is that we need to give some freedom. So the freedom to think. If the students feel, even the teachers, they need that freedom. And so this is what I have done. When the teachers, they design their programs, so they have the freedom to design, conceptualize. So they are doing the conceptualization of the entire course, what different modules should be there, they are given. And I am always, because once they are done away with this, I am always there to discuss with them. So in fact, many times now it has happened, I tell them that you are handling one department and I am handling 20 departments. So many times they would say that even if we do not remember about our department, I am sure that ma'am would be remembering. So she will tell us that what our department is doing. So we have to connect. So I am always available to them. They can, while I was delivering this session also, I had to switch off my phone 3 times because teachers were calling. So whenever they have, I have made it because I feel that we all are equal. In fact, even for my students also, the students, they don't have to take any prior appointment from me. In case they want to meet up with me, if I am in the college, they can come. In fact, for teachers, they have to wait. But for my students, if they come to the college, they want to meet up with me, I will ask my teacher to wait, but I will never ask my student to wait. So because I feel that when we do these things, the students, they realize that teachers have given me they have given me the due time, and they appreciate because they are coming from far off places also, and when they are writing their exam or doing other things. So maybe this is how, when at the higher times, maybe after few years, when they go up to, they take up some leadership positions, they are in the administrative position, they would always realize that when they were as a student, they were always given the opportunity. So I feel that when their time comes, they would be also empathetic towards others. So this is my thought behind doing these things.
Truly inspiring leadership, ma'am. Truly inspiring. No wonder your metric college is ranked 36th now. I think 36th, right?
Yes, actually, we were expecting it to be much higher, but somehow, because there are some administrative things, so our TLC got low numbers. So because of that teaching learning ratio, the number of teachers, because I know many of our teachers are leaving Metrai and becoming a part of other colleges as permanent faculty. So this is changing our, otherwise we could have scored better rank this year.
No, we wish you all the best for coming years. Maybe ranking top 10.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
So is there anyone else who wants to give feedback, ask queries, and have any question?
So I would also like to come in. Heartiest congratulations, Professor Chopra, for such an amazing presentation. And my sentiments are same as Professor Alka's, that you have done such an exemplary work and created such a good research ethos for undergraduates. So I think all of us have lessons to learn. So like you have already listed some of the facilitators. I would like to ask you, what are the barriers you faced and some facilitators, because we have tried Young Research Forum at our college, but Professor Alka has been some student. He has also
student research facilitator.
Yes, he has also published, but very little work we have done. So now we have so many young faculty, many of them are attending this FDP also, and they are all energetic. They are the future teachers. So I would also like to, know a little bit, like if we want to start something like this, how should one begin? Because like you started talking about your journey, like since Maitri is a star college and you got lots of funding. So we don't have 3 science departments to even apply for star funding. So what will be your message for us, for our younger faculty? Because if they want to, replicate some of the things which have been done at Maitri, how do we go about it?
Okay, Anita ji, maybe because I have heard a lot about the food and technology department of your college, right? You
was a professor for the food and
I belong to that department only.
You belong to that department only, right? And when we talk about basic necessity, the 3 essential things that are required are food, shelter, right? You are addressing a very basic need of every individual. I think this can give you a base for establishing a research center, because like this year being I'm just giving few thoughts, maybe accordingly you can work in this direction also. Nowadays, a lot of work is being done on what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat, right? And you have students, in fact, from the students, you can rope in the students of English department, Hindi department, sociology department. They can work on different themes, like this year being celebrated as the International Year of Millets, right? So as a student, initially also I was sharing and I stated that when you begin, in fact, when NEP 2020 was there, when we were reading the guidelines, the first thing that our teacher said that, ma'am, this is what we started in 2018. So we started before that only. So we said that when the university government is coming up with this NEP 2020, they have been working on it for the past so many years. It is not that in 1 year it has come up. So this thought is there and this is how we need to work. So coming to this point, when we started with this work in 2020, the first thing is in very first year, I did not come up with the theme. The purpose was to rope in people. So I started with that whatever you can think of, you come up, and we organized a workshop for them, how to write a research problem, how to take a research problem, how to identify a research problem. So every year, because every year the students change. So this is the first practice that we do. Like in the month of, generally in the month of February and March, we invite research proposals from the students. But in the month of January, as soon as the second semester starts, we organize one orientation program. In the beginning, we invited resource persons from outside. Maybe you can invite from our college also. And they talk about, they interacted with the students, they told them how to select a research problem, how to work on it. So this is how we started with. And then, because the purpose was, first thing was to rope in the students. So we thought that whatever comes into your mind, you want to, because sit on the internet for some time, go through what is happening in the surroundings, what is happening in the society, what is happening in your neighborhood. And if you want to take up one problem, do that. And we are there to support you. So we, for SIP programs, we started with the funding. We told the students that whatever contingency grant would be given, whatever money you are spending on printing and other things, that would be reimbursed by the college. So you'd start doing these things. And in the college, we ensured that everybody is registered on Enlist. We held a proper session for these students, how to use Enlist, how to look for a particular journal, how to understand, how to read from a journal. So all these things, all these sessions were taken and they were taught. This is how they understand. They many times, because of some problems, we could not hold this session in the beginning. We organized this during the session, in between the SIP program. So the students said the first thing that the very next day I got to know was an application submitted by all the students that you should have taken this workshop earlier, because without working on these things, we started working on the project, and now we have realized that we have made these mistakes. So now we will not be able to complete this in the stipulated time. So kindly increase the timeline. So we were happy that at least they could realize what mistake they have made. So you have to inspire. So initially you have to give them the freedom. So once the next year what happened, then gradually we came up with theme. Now we said that now you have a basic idea. Teachers are also aware that we have to do. Now with one theme, just look at the various aspects of those themes and then let the students from different departments, they come up with this. But the first thing that you need to, and that is why if you look at this NEP, it has been designed in this manner. Now research methodology would be one of the papers also, which will be taught. But when you want to take up in a separate, so maybe that will be, it would be in a more theoretical manner. But when we take a session for an hour, where we give the gist to the students so that they should know how to get started, how to read a journal, how to take something, how to do the referencing. So these are the small things. And the impact is slowly they were doing these projects. But now, because for the exhibition only, when we were doing the compilation, we prepared a manual which was so thick, and that comprises of publications of our undergraduate students in Scopus Index journals from their these projects only which they have undertaken. So in the first year, the projects were simple. So gradually they will pick up. It is not like this that in the first year only the student will do the project and it will get published and it will change everything what is happening around you. It takes time, but the students are geared up, so they know what they need to do. But to begin with, आप एक पहले उनका ओरिएंटेशन कीजिए. पहले हम हमेशा एक बच्चों के साथ में एक इनवाइट करते हैं और जितने भी ये सेशंस होते हैं उन सेशंस में अब जैसे हर बार क्योंकि बच्चे चेंज होते हैं, इस बार सेशन था तो हमारे पास में इनिशियली वी गॉट ओनली 10 प्रोजेक्ट्स. So then I took one session on my own. I called the students and I asked the students who had registered. So I told them that I am interacting with you and your mobiles are with you. If you feel it is good, call your friends also to join. So maybe I realized that within 15 minutes, the house was jam-packed. All students were there and they asked for 1 week's time, and within a week's time we got 40 projects from the students. So the only thing is you need to interact with them, speak with them, motivate them. बच्चों को ना डायरेक्शन नहीं मालूम है कि उन्हें कहाँ जाना है, तो एक बार आप उनसे बात करेंगे और उनको इसका इम्पैक्ट, इसका इम्पोर्टेंस बताएंगे कि why we are doing this, they will come forward. In fact, अब बहुत सारे बच्चे, because with 4,000 students, you cannot address everybody. There are still many students who come and say कि मैम मुझे मालूम नहीं चला, I have missed this chance. So I tell them कि do it next year. We still, now we are coming up with, every year we are expanding. So now we have come up with the thought that now even our alumni who have passed out from the college, and because many times the students who are pursuing the post-graduation, they have 1 week's gap, 1 year's gap, they are not doing anything. So we tell them, you come to the college and do some research here. So you have to engage them, keep interacting with them, and the students, you just have to initiate the spark. Then they know what to do and how to do it. They will do wonders.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And like I was looking, I think your faculty researcher ratio is about 1:4. Right? Like your students who are engaged in research and the faculty, the ratio?
No, 1:2.
1:2. Okay.
That's tremendous then.
1:2. Under one teacher, there are 2 students. So if there is a particular research work, because many times, like I told you, that we send these projects for external review also.
Yes.
So many times the proposals, they come, then they say that this cannot be completed in 1 week's time, right? 2 months time. So what we do is, if we have 2 teachers, then 4 students can be there. So they work as a team. So generally, though it is a 2-month project, but what happens is when 4 minds are working together, it is actually equivalent to maybe a year's work, which is being done in 2 months only. So they work. So during this only, they learn how to work as a team. And many of our projects are interdisciplinary also. So we have students, like there was one project which was undertaken on menstrual hygiene. And what is the impact on the society, how the girls who are living in villages are doing. So there was a collaboration between the Department of Sociology and the Department of Zoology. So teachers from both the departments, they worked together, and under them 4 students were there. So because we have associated ourselves with 5 villages also. So they went to those villages also. So our students, they keep visiting the villages, they understand. And in fact, in one of the villages, our students have visited. And in fact, they understood the problem of water also, water resources and farming. They are showing that their inclination is now more towards natural farming and organic farming. So even our teachers are working in this direction to provide them some training also. So this is how we are connecting ourselves with every part of the society. And the students do it. आपको उनको सिर्फ एक बार रास्ता दिखाना है, फिर तो वो उस पर भागना शुरू कर देंगे.
Thank you very much.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I, in fact, didn't listen her full presentation in NEC meeting. I just guessed that she is doing some good work, and I requested her that why don't you write a paper on the work you are doing. I didn't know fully what she is doing, but I knew the approach and concept which she spoke in 2 or 3 sentences. So I said, why don't you write a paper of what kind of work you are doing? And then I thought it's the appropriate time when we're having the FDP, let her explain, let her talk about it. And because one of my favorite subject is encouraging colleges to undertake research. In the Indian Colleges Forum annual conference in Patiala, we made a declaration that every college should engage in some kind of a research work, taking the problems of society, community, and other things. You have multidisciplinary talent resources with you, and the students are also available. And when I heard her speaking, and she said that it is not counted in the next, so I said I must make it a point that it should be counted in next if there is opportunity for it. Thank you, Dr. Chopra, for engaging the very wonderful class.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
So now, if no one has any questions, sorry, sir.
I think if you like, you can break for 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right, so if no one has any question, we can come to the conclusion of the first session of 5th day. I think this particular session was quite significant in terms of understanding, in terms of having a precise vision and how to execute that vision with the help of undergraduate students. I think that in that sense, Professor Chopra has demonstrated a series of things, from installing the spirit and analytical and critical thinking in students, then having a motivation in all the faculty members, calling out all of them, having a precise dialogue with them, how to go with that, and that has developed a research center in Maitrey College. I think that this is a quite inspiration to all the faculty members, and I think that we can take this spirit and we can install this to our own colleges. Thank you so much, Professor Chopra, for inspiring us, for demonstrating how to execute certain visions in all the colleges. We are really thankful for you, for having you. And thank you so much for taking relevant time from your busy schedule.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for your patient listening and for your compliments also. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So we can proceed to the next session. And if Professor G.D. Sharma allows us, we can have 5 minutes break.
Yeah, you go for 5 to 7 minutes break. We had a very heavy session.
And then we can have it. So right now it is 4:02, and we can come back by 4:08. Like if everyone is okay with that, we will start with 4:08 sharp. Thank you so much, sir. I think we should start, Professor Sharma. Sir, you are mute.
Okay, you can start if you like.
I think so. Welcome everyone for the second session of 5th day. We have today Professor G.D. Sharma. I think now you all know Professor Sharma pretty well. He is a known face among us now. But for a brief introduction, Professor G.D. Sharma is a former secretary UGC and a former director CEC and a former professor NIPA. He has written many articles on education and specifically New Education Policy 2020. And if you see that his research work and his interest categorically lies in how we can prepare teachers for the future generation. So now I think that without spending any more time, we can invite Professor Sharma. Over to you, Professor Sharma.
Okay, thank you very much. May I get some responses from the participants regarding the any major research project has been undertaken by any of the participants present here in the college? No? No major research project has been taken?
Sir, I have done major research project. So,
okay.
Sir, we did in one research project was funded by DU Innovation Project. We did 4 teachers and 10 students. And then I've also been involved as co-PI in some projects which were conducted at AIMS.
Very good. Not many people. And funded by some agency, by UGC or some other funding agencies or your own funding? Dr. Anita, was it funded by some agency or your own funding?
Sir, the one which was DU funded, it was 6 lakh funded by University of Delhi, and with AIMS I've done a project funded by ICMR. Another one is going on which is by DST Seed. Okay. So these projects are huge projects. The current one is about 50 lakh. Another one was about more than 30 lakhs. Sir.
Yeah. This is a major research project, and sir, looking forward to do so. Very good. Meera, you are looking forward to do so. Very good. Any of you have done minor research project funded by University Grants Commission or major research project funded by University Grants Commission? No?
Sir,
other than Anita.
So I'm taking up Young Researchers Forum in our own college, where I interdisciplinary students and interdisciplinary departments. Yes. So 3 of my research projects have been completed so far. And one of them was done on an insurance, sports insurance. And it was taken up by the insurance companies, and they have come out with a plan on giving insurance to sports students.
Yeah.
So it was launched as a plan. Only recently, in the year 2021. There was another project which I did with my students was on stock market, women's initiation into stock markets during COVID times.
Okay.
So that resulted in a very good informative research project.
Very good, very good. When you talk to university professor, university lecturer or university reader, what kind of responses you normally get on research?
Very discouraging sometimes.
No. When you talk to university staff, I'm talking to university departments.
Okay.
You would find that some of the university professors are already busy in one or other kind of research, leaders are busy in another kind of research, and assistant professors are also looking for research and etc. A talk of the department would be what kind of research you are doing it, what kind of work you are doing it. That's the talk of department. Any university department is a good university or other, even average university. When you talk of the department in the college, whether this kind of discussion takes place or not take place? I don't want to embarrass all of you, but yeah, they always encourage us. Very good. It's good. They encourage us that the point which there are various levels of the research. You must have done most of those. Done the PhD, and some of them must have done MPhil, or some of them might be engaging in the research activity, etc. But one of the things which I would like to discuss with you, a kind of old story, but the fact of the matter is that things starts in a different manner. And research has different levels at postgraduate, postdoctoral research and research projects, etc. But research, how research can really help improving the quality of higher education, or quality of institution, working of institution as well as the quality of higher education. We were doing some kind of training for the principals of college, which was our job in the NEPA, and we always wanted and encouraged and inspired the principals that we should undertake the research and try to undertake the development of the college and do the work for the institutional development plan, you work for the teacher development, you work for the student development, and all those things. Then one of the principals says, sir, it's very good, it is very well said, but it's very difficult to do it in the ground level. It's a good idea, many good points are there, but it's very difficult to do ground level. Of course, you are not aware of the ground level situation. I said, okay, let's see. Then I proposed an action research project in NEPA. I requested them that we have been training the principals of college on various aspects of development of college. And somebody has challenged that it's not possible to do, and the quality improvement in the college, there are different parameters on which students work, different parameters on which teachers work, and the environment and etc. It doesn't really help. It's good to talk about the development of college, and that teacher, principal playing a lead role in this, and so it's. So we proposed the action research project and undertook a college which is in a government college. There's a government college will take it, and so that because that 80s was a period when private colleges were not many and government colleges were many. So we took a project in Gurgaon. That is, I would not name the college particularly, but yes, it was a government college, and we started doing it. We started doing it in terms of how to improve the quality of teaching learning process, how to improve the development of college, how to motivate the students, and etc. First few meetings was very discouraging, but it was all right. It was at times it became very uncomfortable to the teachers as well as the principal. Principal were very motivated, and he continued to. Government official, the secretary informed us that you have chosen a very notorious college. How would you like to experiment all those things? I said, it's precisely for this purpose we would like to take this college, not any other college, which is better one. So we started this way. First 1 month of discussion on various aspects, etc., was very, very challenging. In fact, there was a time when people started saying "Nipa ka pipa bas gaya." I said, oh, well, that's good. I smiled. And I said, let's talk second day. Second day we continued. And then some of the person said, yes, it is possible. And that was the beginning, in fact. Some person said it's possible, certain things, the improvement of quality of education in the college, and even in a very difficult situation, it's possible. I said, now let's begin with this sort of thing. So that was the beginning through which, because there are problems of the students, there are problems of environment, problems of situation, etc. So one of the things which we started interacting with the department, and with the department several things came, and interestingly, department became more active in talking, explaining, talking about all those things. That was another sort of beginning with this kind of breaking the ice, which I call it. Then I said, this is first day that department wants to develop. These are limitations, these are difficulties, these are culture of the students, and etc. Then after discussing all the department, etc., I said, what kind of syllabus you have? They discuss about the syllabus and etc. We started with each and every department. And then somebody said that we are teaching this subject, we are teaching the other subject, all this. I said that can we think of taking a village and try to experiment some of the things which you are teaching there. And we took one village that was Harsaru, and then we said that okay, chemistry department can take because they teach pH and conductivity in chemistry, and the pH and conductivity is taught just in a kind of a story manner. It's a kind of story manner. No practical work is effectively done in this. I said, can the chemistry department take soil sample of the in the village and do the pH and conductivity test? The students also joined this kind of. They got excited, and the teacher got excited and other thing. But when they wanted to do pH and conductivity, the soil sample, they didn't know how to take soil samples. So we invited the agriculture department, Krishi Vigyan Kendra over there, and they suggested this is how you take the samples of the soil in the field, marking the field, taking the lab. No, the soil sample was taken by the student and teacher. It started moving things. And then when they took the soil sample, then they found that where to test it. In the lab, college lab, things were not that strong. I said, let's go to Kisan Vigyan Kendra, and there the soil was tested, and they found pH and conductivity of the soil, and they explained that this particular field where the sample was taken has this kind of quality of soil, and that needs this kind of nutrients and all those things. And when this report came, they went and shared with the farmers. Farmers became very happy, and the students and teacher got excited about it. So that's and they asked that if you do for us, we'll also do. The learning started taking much more carefully in the college. On the other side, we said that remedial teaching should be done for those weaker students, etc. Other side was also the communication system, communication of language was also there. Teacher wanted a communication classes, so we did a communication for them, invited the expert on communication for teachers, and as a result, persons from the neighboring college started sending yes messages, can we get transferred to this college? We also would like to get it. So that was, but not only this, the economics student conducted a price study, price of agricultural product, and they came out with the aspect of the marginal farmer, big farmer, and the farmer who owned the who was in debt. And they told me, sir, we have been taught learning about the perfect competition. In perfect competition, prices are determined by this situation, etc. But agricultural prices are not determined by this. I said, what is that? He said that marginal farmer is not able to go to mandi and he is not able to sell. So his price is determined by the adatia he comes and collects from him. The person who has taken the loan, his price is determined by the person who has given loan. So price system in this kind of situation. So I say, oh, well, they started working on this kind of thing, how prices are determined in the rural area. So again, the economics person started looking into their subject and then looking into the other. When they do household survey of the village, they started seeing the household survey gives them data of the income, family situation, and education of the people. And one person, with the help of a teacher, they came out with the report, what is the position of the 100 years educational position of this village. I said, how you could get it 100 years? He said, the oldest person in the village is this size, their children, and we got it. And there's a profile of 100 years profile of education was built by the students. And I said, it's very interesting thing to find out if some intervention has to be done. One can do the intervention in this process. Then the chemistry, physics department, they said, we would like to break the golden days, 84, break the TV and see this transistor, see it, how it works, and etc. And they started doing experiment with the TV, and some of them persons learned how to maintain, repair TV, etc. The physics department looked into the circuits, etc. And then so what it is, in the course of time, every department, with the help of others, and they started looking into education as a kind of a challenge, and then actually the quality started changing this day. Remedial courses, of course, they take a quality of interest of the student. The student, which the college, which was said to be very notorious in many ways, started seeing some kind of changes and other things. After a year, what we find, that performance of the students also increased, interest of the teachers also underwent a change, and they also wanted to get certain kind of projects and etc. But I say that first is look into the this kind of your application of knowledge which you are teaching to the student, how you can apply it to the field and see what results come, so the people get access. So that is one of the area where the quality started changing. Of course, when the performance came, you would be interesting. Then there are always in academic field we have good critics, and that's also very important. You have good constructive criticism people. Some of the people say, "Sir, this time performance is good, but this time the copying has been very high." I said, "Copying was last year also, copying was this year. So how do you see the change?" So interest, what you find that research orientation slowly taking education as a inputting in the quality. Teachers or excitement about the things. Teaching in the classroom and slightly underwent a change in etc. It was 84, 85, 86 story, etc. I have been there since then working in not only this, that research, there are several levels of research. Research in order to inquiry, verify, check, and how it works about it. And then other is the other level of research. Other is teaching. And teachers and students can come together and form a research club or research orientation, and they undertake a problems of the society, which I said that in ICF conference about 10 years back, we declared that it should be teacher colleges should undertake research activities wherein they undertake take the problems of society, which Chopra has started talking about it, and say this problem could be. So you know the society very well, whether it is sociology, whether it is political science, whether it is economics, it is physics, chemistry, and all other areas. So you know, understand, and small research project can be taken with the support or without support, and form a research club in this institution. That would undergo a major cultural change. Culture of research would undergo a quality of debate and discussion in the college, quality of engagement of the students, and other things. That sort of change I have been pleading to the colleges wherever I meet, where university has to be of this type. One of my recommendations have been give the colleges autonomy, give them degree granting status, which this after 10 or 15 years, this kind of thing. Research is a basic part of teaching learning process. If research is not integrated with research, we are repeating what is in the textbook or what one learns about it, and then so it becomes an integrated part of teaching and learning. Therefore, universities, if a teacher doesn't take research and it engages only for teaching, they find there's something amiss in this. And where all the potentials are available with the colleges, all teachers are available, they are all equally qualified for doing the research. Some of them are PhD holders, some are doing DSA, and there are interdisciplinary. I guess their resources are very high in the colleges in terms of multidisciplinary orientation. One person can link with when we were doing the research in this kind of small project at the institutional level, you find that other subjects are also joined, and therefore teachers could come together there. Examples have been given by Chopra about the student doing the research, etc. My own suggestion has been that there should be a kind of research club in the university or colleges, particularly colleges, where the voluntary level teachers come forward and undertake research. One is the kind of research which you find that Chopra and other people are doing. Other third kind of research which you find the university systems are doing on various projects, minor and major research project, taking a problem of the industry, taking a problem of the society at the global level or at the national level. Other is that lot of data and information are missing at the ground level. You can, I said botany department. Once I told the botany department and botany that survey of botanical systems. I said, why don't you take the help of the college botany teachers and the students and go for searching the flora of the student and give them a small project, because ground level data and ground level information is available with the colleges, because they are near the district. They are near the area where the data are available, where the information, where things happen, that is happening. And that data can be very useful generating information. That data will be also helpful generating the global level information, which is the key to it. you would find that university would do the research, collecting data with the help of research student or the help of the investigator, etc. They will go to ground, but they are still away from the ground level situation. Colleges are very close to the college. So whether it's a survey of study of flora and fauna, survey of water conditions in the survey of rural agriculture area, soil conditions, and etc. In fact, recently I was in Rajasthan, a desert area, Baju, and this is a NGO, and the NGO one person was engaged with the farmers and marketing, enabling them to do the marketing, etc. Then I said, you are engaged with the 1,000 farmers. Collect data of their quality of the soil of these farmers, and then suggest the improvement, the nutrients to be given, and the water things to be how to manage it, and that will bring about a major change in this. So what I'm saying, this information not available. We have collected data for. I did the study on 6 states of the backward regions, etc. But I had to send the research, and I used to choose the students of the university, the colleges. And I said, you know this language in Hyderabad and Telangana, they speak the language which we Telugu. So you go to the field, these are the questions, and then bring me data and I'll analyze it. So our research became more close to the ground level situation. So my own submission has been always that what kind of research you will be doing in a smaller or bigger way, it is going to bring out the data and information useful, which will bring to the larger and bigger level of analysis. Right now, we are doing all upper level or macro level, but micro level and semi level, minuscule level is information data are not available. People come from outside, they do thorough research. Have you heard that the best kind of oral history of Jammu and Kashmir is written by a person from foreign by interacting with each and every individual for 10 relevant people. So this information data are available nearer to that, and the people come and collect it. Whereas you are very close to the if you ask a college in any nearby, one of the very important thing our higher education system is well spread. Every district has one or the college. Every district has several colleges, and they are very close to the societal situation. Whether you talk of social structuring, if you talk the political, you talk the economic, you talk the physics, solar and other things. So you find that you are placed at a very important place in the field of the research. Because empirical data have to come from the ground level. One is theoretical, which one tries to do it, but ground level data are very rare, and therefore you find those who do ground level data, they work on various aspects. College can collect the data. I often used to say that you can collect the data, ask the student to bring the water, what kind of community they come from. Your college students have a lot of database from them. What kind of family they come from, what kind of community they come from, what is the background of how their education processes are going on, and then have intervention. All research will lead to some kind of positive intervention and change, and it will engage in the quality in terms of interpretation, discussions, etc. So therefore, I have been of a view that research becomes very important component at undergraduate level. May not be necessarily high-end project report, which is always but how to do research, etc., can flow from those who are doing at a different level. As C.S. Chopra also talked about, we tell them how to collect data, how to interpret basic aspect of research methodology, etc., interpretation. Now, interestingly, earlier there was a lot of problem in collecting data, processing data, analyzing and putting it now. Now it's very easy with the use of technology. Other day, we had collected data from the students in Pune, one of the colleges, about their values, about their thinking, about their desire to do the voluntary work, etc. And about 100 student data was lying with me for almost a year or so, because it was just coming from the college, and they said that Other day, somebody came and I said he put all the data in Google form and then generated all the report to me. And within 15, 20 days, this 100 student data, every student has about more than 50 questions. 50 questions within that there are sub questions, etc. All those were done in about a week's time, and those tables are made up. So the technology is now enabling us to do this kind of research, collect data, processing, etc. Which is, and a lot of money was required for all this activity. We used to engage people; they used to process it. So another useful thing is that ground level data were not collected. Ground level data research was not being collected. It had a high cost, and the cost collected, then processing cost was there. Then interpretation aspect was there. So now technology would enable you to do this kind of work little easily and very effectively. So this is one of the areas where I would like you to reflect on. One is the research at the high level, which will continue, but should continue. But unfortunately, in that case, with the lot of influences that are coming from the dominant the institutions which are doing research on their problem, their issues, and etc. And then we put in India, we try to confirm whether it is true or wrong, false, or it is working or not. But ground-level information that are not flowing from below to coming up and then giving it. So this is one area. Either you can engage the research, as Chopra said. I am particularly keen on that. Teachers should come forward voluntarily, set up a research club, and talk about what kind of problem of community, society we can take it, which is near area, and then let's come out with little support or without support, and then research. And so a culture of research is being set up. Culture of questioning is being set up. Culture of inquiry is being set up. Culture of analyzing a problem and then coming out with a solution. Not anecdotal opinion, too much of opinionated, etc., but facts and data and information based. Then the thinking of which many people call scientific work, but basically it's a culture changes, thinking changes, questioning becomes, even theory is being questioned, and the thinking, and it gives a kind of a feeling, what we'll call a feeling that we are doing something more or something different than what, and that information may not be available. If tomorrow you give me data information near Lakshmibai College or in Kerala or any other area where you are trained, you've taken that particular area and you give me data of that village or that data of that society, community on various aspects, socio-cultural aspects of it, the physical situation aspect of it, environment aspect of it, and the gender aspect of it, and you find this information would be mind-blowing. And then people would be looking at you, oh, you tell us what it is, how it's working. So that is where your role is. You are located, you are placed at a very important place. And that important place provides you two big opportunities. One is that you have academic resources, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary academic resources, which I can think tank at a very in one place. Second is you have teach students at undergraduate and postgraduate level who can be very useful in collecting, working on this problem, information, etc., database, and then you come out with the analysis and then put a joint research paper. Every paper is useful in that case because that is based on information, data coming from the ground level, and that throws a new scenario than what you really find with the macro level data, what you find in at the global level data. So this is where I consider this research club concept which I have been talking, and why I picked up Chopra is because I was attending a consultative meeting in the NEC, and then I saw her talking about in two sentences that we are doing research, we have research and innovation center, and we are doing some research, and that is not counted. So I said, okay, write a paper, and I just then told her that why don't you speak to it? That's a ground level situation, how things are changing, etc. So I am of the opinion that colleges are as good as universities in terms of knowledge resources. Knowledge resources are available of a different discipline we do. In terms of energy package. I call youth as an energy package. We have a lot of energy to do the good work. Either use it for a positive or use it for the slogan mongering or that kind of thing. So that culture should start changing. Or the culture I like to share with you. I went from Rajasthan and then I was doing research in Bombay, and our research room used to be open from 8 o'clock to morning 8 o'clock to evening 8 o'clock. And then no holidays, only 2 days holidays in this, and everybody was working on this, and culture was changed. So culture of discussion, culture of debate, and a quality question, it will undergo a major change. So that is where I'll stop here and invite more questions on this, and that how the limitations are there, difficulties are there. As I said, that particular college was lot of problems in that, but the problems get changed, solved, and then slowly. It may not become in a year. I used to call, there is some kind of a curve of improvement of quality of the institutions. That curve is that you go high, then there is a trough. There is always little go down. And that trough is less than what you started with this. Then you start growing up further. Second, again, you have to, it's a non-linear growth path. It is not a linear growth. Or people take a linear growth path, it doesn't happen. It happens in a non-linear growth path, any academic institutions. And then when you reach at a threshold level, things move on its own. So research becomes the basis of quality improvement. Research becomes the basis of changing the culture of the institutions. Research becomes the changing, or also informing, getting more information, data, and all other things, which will bring a kind of support to the larger research projects or the macro level research, because you built on a certain kind of building blocks, which you call, and then major projects also get, or the macro level research also gets supported by this basic data, basic information, etc. This is going to be need of the time, and it is future. Luckily, policy has also made it, and the other day the announcement was of National Research Foundation, about 50,000 crores are being earmarked for this, 10,000 crore every year for this purpose. But that's the one area of doing project research, macro, that kind of research. This is voluntarily with little support from the institution or some agencies. Research culture has to be set up in the colleges, and that should bring you to a new aspect when one is talking about the policy of autonomy. One is talking a policy of degree grantee status to colleges. This I've been reading for past 10 or 15 years. Then it will bring your culture as well as status of colleges in the social system, political, and the academic system. You would be doing much more important information, data collection, processing, and coming out with that, because you are very close to the ground level situation. From university at the capital, we have to send large number of persons, do the work, and etc. Then again, we have to do the sample basis, and then the sample basis may not be coming out with the kind of results which one was expected of it. So this is where I thought I would plead, or I will appeal to all of you that think about creating a research club within your, and one is link your teaching learning process with some kind of practical database which could be collect, and then as a PhD conduct physics, other thing, or social behavior, etc. Collect data, work out, and then relate to the theory. Sometimes theory it may be acceptable, sometimes it may not be. But that's the kind of basic cultural approach. And then once this data are put in a bundled block with other institutions, multiple institutions join a kind of hand, then things would undergo a major change in the. And only this research would bring about a change in terms of knowledge, in terms of development of the, and that also values in the system. I think I have spoken for 10, 15 minutes or 30 minutes for this. I would stop it here and then invite some questions, and then I'll further elaborate on this. Yes, Anita ji.
So thank you so much for the very good suggestion which you are giving, and I think we should all think in this direction. I wanted to ask you, with your permission, a simple question, that when we are working with human beings, we are working with the problems of human beings, whether it is we are talking of their behavior or pure sciences, it is different. But when we are working with human beings, the ethics say that this research should have a clearance from institutional ethical committee, which is usually lacking in the undergraduate colleges. The departments have such committee. So if the teacher and the students together think of the ultimate outcome, ultimate outcome is to recognize the problem of the community and also suggest solutions. And then academically, they also want to publish that paper in a Scopus listed journal. So they don't accept a paper if it does not have ethical clearance. So what are your comments on this?
What they don't have?
Sir,
last sentence?
Sir, if we have to publish a paper where human beings are involved, so then it has to be as per the Helsinki declaration. It has to be the proposal has to be cleared before conducting the study through the institutional ethical committee, which has a proper composition, and the departments have such committees, whereas undergraduate colleges, I'm not aware whether Maitri has it or not, but usually undergraduate colleges don't have this committee.
No, ethical aspect come much later when you are trying to collect data, and then you are using the data for a purpose which is individually oriented data, which we never do. No research study, even a smaller level, etc., identifies a person or links with that sort of, or uses the data for a personal or any other purpose. So ethical issues comes. That ethical committees are being set up at university, and you can also generally have that. Ethical is not yet, we have not yet begun the research to talk of research ethical issues. Ethical issues you have to take on your own. Your group will decide that the collect any data or student, there are two levels. One is the object, the subject you are using for the research. Other is the persons who are engaged in research. So you have to, those who work, you have to acknowledge it, give the due credit for this and other thing. And as is those subject on which you are working, or the persons you are working, you have to assure that the data or information are not going to be used other than the general analysis, and no names will be shared. Normally, in any research, when we collect ground level data, you have to give a declaration. Any questionnaire, when you put it, you have to give a declaration. Data would be used only for analytical purpose. No individual information would be shared with this. And if it is shared, then one is charged for that. So what I would say that ethical issues would come up, but there is general understanding of the ethical aspects of when you collect the data, when you are processing the data, or those who are working in it, credits system. These are two areas. And then no plagiarism take place. You copy paste and do it. That there are three levels of ethical issues come. One is the plagiarism issues. Other is the non-giving, non-credit by taking the other's work and putting the credit to yourself. Third is the subject on which you're collecting data, whether it is individual or any other. And those subjects, whether industry data or whether society data or information, or qualitative information, etc., they are to be put in a more anonymous kind of without making reference to the individual. If you try collect the data for, let's say, particular group in this, and you have come out with the results that the drinking habit of these people, water or anything, it is like it is affecting this quality of the student learning and all these things, then you are not naming it, and you are also not saying, you are saying that this background could be available at any place. So ethical issues would be kept. Any research student, the first lesson to the research student is given, or any research person, first lesson he learns is that in research on which he is conducted by the individual, group, or the physical matters, etc., it becomes a kind of secret, a confidential one, and that is not shared with anyone. That's the first and foremost aspect of confidentiality. Radhika has that confidentiality aspect is to be addressed. So that becomes the first ethical issue. Second ethical issue is those who are working it, they are shared about it. And if you're getting some remuneration, you have to share with that sort of. And third is the kind of no plagiarism, cut paste research doesn't take place, that sort of. These are the few issues with plagiarism, acknowledgement, and confidentiality of data collected from the sources. These are three issues which every research student, every research project, even a smaller, even if you're a group of students going to the community and collecting data about their food habits, and within food habits they are taking calorie intake affecting their health issues, etc. That is generally analyzed. Then you will be saying that this kind of food habit taking this much of calories and this looking into rabies and other kind of problem. So this is a general one, or maybe a smaller level data or smaller community. You will have to explain the basis of your analysis, purpose of analysis, and other things. So I think this is equal aspect to be taken care of. Confidentiality is mentioned.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other issue which you have? Yeah. Meera?
Thank you. Yes, sir. Actually, it was a very inspirational talk, which as a new to this area. I mean that not in the sense the initiatives which I would like to take in the sense you have talked. That when we get into a group, sir, when we form a group, whether we have to check 1 or 2 persons. I mean that if we are trying to make the paper to be published, then the first author and the second author has to be, their contribution has to be divided. That is the first concern which I am facing, that whenever we are doing research, one or 2 persons can be engaged with us and make a paper for that. So while we are trying to select a person, then the person should be to some extent we have to give some I'm not sure we have some remuneration in the sense that if we need some funds with regarding to that, sir, there we lacks a lot. Because the lacking of fund is also a great concern as a researcher. That is also the main thing which I have to point it out. And the second thing is that whether we get such kind of appreciation from the university. I mean that whether we can claim in the sense of the index which we are talking today, is that the index publication is very much necessary. That is also as a starter of this area, I am lacking such confidentiality with regarding to that, sir. Please give some comments, because your talks are always very, I mean that very enthusiastic, and we can realize the truth actually.
Yeah, the point was that you will have all those issues coming, or the ordering of the authors, or the work, giving the credit to the different persons, etc. And if the money is there, that issues will also come. But by and large, when you enter into a new concept or culture of research, it is kind of enjoyment people have in terms of doing the research, working out some new areas and getting answers to some problems, etc. And that becomes very important thing. There are different levels of the research. So as I said, that what I'm talking, encouraging students and teachers come together, take up the community problem and link with the kind of education which you are doing it. As I said, PhD in conducting or chemistry or this thing. And then even the economics people talk of various price elasticity, etc. The price elasticity point was taken by these people, as I said, that they collected data which that was a government setup, and they collected data of prices of vegetable on the first week of the salary and prices of consumption of last week of salary, and they came out with the kind of a different answer. So point which I'm telling you, look into the theory which you are saying, and the theory has a empirical basis. So that is the first level of engaging students and teachers together. Then teacher also come with the idea that can we contribute to the, and they can write a paper on that. Now question comes up whether published in the care journal or not, they get the credit for that in the API or not. These are second level question which one can be addressed little later. But first level question is, are they keen on engaging themselves in the research activity? That is, and it should be more voluntarily. When I talk about research, it's more voluntarily. Are they interested in doing it? Those who are getting funding, they will apply for the funding. They'll get national, international funding, etc., which we always get it at university and other thing. Some of the colleges used to get the funding from the DST. I know as early as the 80s or late 80s, I visited Pondi, Pushpam College, Pundi, is the autonomous college, which was having about 50 lakhs research project from DST. So that thing would continue. What basically I am trying to take the link with the community and research orientation, link with the society and research orientation as a part of the teaching learning process, as a part of improving and voluntarily. That would need little bit, as Chopra talked, little bit resources, etc. But the cost of doing a project within that kind of is much less than there, and the credit which the student would get, orientation of the student, change the environment will get, is going to be major. So what I will say, yes, there will be issues of credit, issues of who gets more and other things, but these issues will come little later once the culture of research is being set up. So I know that there will be, as you grow further, then many issues will come about it, but whether the urge for research is there or not. Somebody in one of the meetings last time we had in the Habitat Center, we conducted for principals of and senior academics about it. One of the persons remarked that these people get a lot of money, etc. I said the research is a better is a matter of urge. Everybody cannot do the research. It is a matter of urge. They want to inquire on that thing. And the large number of people do the research, the things become much more better. So my first submission to all of you when I talk with research club in the college, a researcher, that link your education processes with the community in around and then see the data, analyze it and put it together, some kind of. Second level research, ask for the project at the minor research project or major research project, which is your individual growth, individual development, your contribution to the knowledge, field of knowledge. Third is a major research project, your contribution to the field of knowledge. This first level research is your contribution to the society. That contribution would come as larger society, but the first level data which I'm telling you will come directly contribution to the society with whom you are in and around. That is where the change would need. That is where it doesn't require more of money and more of resources. That is where the thinking of the student will also undergo a change. Thinking of the people around will undergo a change. As I said that in that Harsuru village, they never knew the relevance of the college. When the student went and collected data information with the farmers and they shared, every farmer was keen on that. You conduct the similar kind of a pH and conductivity for our soil and tell us what are the nutrients required. We are ready to pay the money. So that relevance of education becomes, and respect for the education becomes much more. Today, in today's society, you find that they feel alienated. We do the high-level research, which has a very relatively larger impact. But when you do that kind of work, which has a direct research. So what I'm basically submitting to all of you, think about different levels. One is a project level, which you do, which every academic should be engaged in. Other is creating a sort of voluntarily research club where the interdisciplinary people are sitting together, looking into the neighboring issues, neighboring localities problem, and then that contribution go to the society, and that they say, oh, this change would come, or either health issue changes, water changes, any other issue changes, or the students themselves. You have about 3,000 students other than. You don't do we know our students very well? No, we don't. The data are available with us. We can we know their socio-economic background, we know the education background, they're all other things. We didn't analyze and put it together. These are the people who need this kind of support, and let us try to build some kind of incentive, build kind of activities which will help there, and then automatically quality of the student participation, quality of the student engaged in the education changes. So these are the things which I thought if it is possible. One is, and then other is ethics is a part and parcel of it. Funding is another issue. Credits is another issue, and then sharing this knowledge. If 10 colleges come together, they collect on same issues. But this is first level college. Second is the cluster of colleges coming together. Third is the university college coming together, and then today I was telling somebody that ICSR has launched a project on the villages adopted by MPs. What is the impact of of this MP-led program? It's very interesting empirical level research. Now, this empirical level research cannot be conducted. We are planning that this empirical level research should be conducted in the collaboration with the colleges. We would make a college as a partner, and the college is located near that village where the MP village has been chosen. And now working how deeper data could be collected by the college, student, teachers, etc., and that can be worked. So point which I am telling that you are near to the research mind, and that mind has to be explored. That mind has to be explored in every field, whatever field you like. You take in water, you take soil, you take the environment, you take the health, you take the behavior of the changing behavior of the people, changing behavior of the people because of the technology which has come, all other things which will come from your side. Suppose if you take the use of number of hours use of various kinds of WhatsApp, Instagram, etc., their behavior thinking, and look into this. That are available, you can, and then you come. A very interesting thing happened in Stanford University. I happened to read one small news item, and he said that somebody conducted the research at certain age group. If a person can stand on one leg, who will have a longer life than the person. And he carried out research for a cohort and over a period of time and coming out. So an empty number of areas of research emerges at the ground level situation, etc. So that has to be conceived and so I am basically of the view that adopt a approach, and that's why I always say that setup is now good. I was very happy to see set up a research and innovation. I say set up a research club wherein interdisciplinary people voluntarily come together. They set the student bring out the problem, or you suggest the problem. On that problem, information data collected, small project report is prepared, small paper is brought out, and that can become a very important way of change in this process. I'll stop, and many more questions. Please go ahead with the questions. Is it possible or not? Or it is a pep talk? Please feel free. Is it a pep talk or is it possible or not? Yes. Go ahead.
Possible, sir.
Huh? Yes, Satya.
Good evening, sir. It's possible, sir. I am from Lakshmi College, and we have a center for research. And in the same lines, our Anita ma'am and Alka ma'am are there as our senior professors guiding us, and principal ma'am also. We have made some 6 groups, sir, 6 to 7 groups. Okay. Collected data on like life scale. We have collected socio-economic status and stress levels of students we have measured. And latest we have done research on stress levels of sports children, sir. And we are publishing it in UGC-led BU conference, which is coming up on 7th, without any funds and all. But we are doing it for the sake of research, and we are very happy to do that. And the children also very much interested to come forward and they are engaged. In every group, there are 20 to 15 students are there, sir. They are very much interested in collecting data, and they are ready to do data collection through Google Forms and all. It's very happy to be, part of research group, and we are enjoying it, sir. Any further, your suggestions to improve our center and all will be helpful to us, sir. We are 10 people in the group.
Very good. Last time when I visited Lakshmi, I suggested there should be this kind of work. I'm glad to know that this is already there, and you are working on this. It will change the culture within the system. Let me tell you, it has a larger, very slow but very large level of impact in the course of time. People debate and questioning the discussion changes in course of in 5 or 6 months time. You'll find many people, as in this college, many students out of 4,000, about 50, 60 project came. So like this change comes. Then the talk of the college is about the research, doing something of that kind. It could be published. Even if it's not published, you are contributing to the knowledge, or contributing to the problem solving of the society, problem solving of the what you are teaching, and they learn it better. So that's why I'm glad that I congratulate you for engaging in this. And what I would suggest, from time to time, you can engage invite some of the people in your group and have a talk on what are the new development, how technology is being used in research, and how these things, and give a kind of a opportunity to those who are already working in various fields, etc. Let them give a talk, and let that talk become a source of inspiration, as a source of doing the research in a much more consistent, much more precise and scientific manner.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Please feel free.
If you have any question, you can unmute yourself and can ask the question to Professor Sharma.
Another, yes, please go ahead.
Sir, I just wanted to ask, like when we do this research project in our college, so the data which we look at is the sample size is 100. No? That is a basic number which we have kept. So is that a good enough size of a sample?
No. That was simply we asked from a college in a rural area college in Una, Gujarat, and we wanted to initiate a project of what we call the development volunteers. We wanted to find out that who are interested in development activities of the institute on a voluntary basis, a society in a voluntary basis. So we said that you can form 10 persons group and then collected data for 100%, those who volunteered for it. And we analyze those data. It is not sample size. You have to decide what kind of sample size you would like to take it, depending on your, or you can take a census. In your case, very interesting thing, your data are already available with you now in the form, and you can take a census. And nowadays, with the technology, it's a matter of few minutes.
Basically,
yeah. Which was not possible earlier. Which was, I know that when the 1,000 student data were collected, the processing first is putting in the sheet, putting in data, processing, then running, then various kind of permutation combination. In your case, now permutation combinations is possible, and with AI, it would be much more, many variables. Earlier, we used to take 3 or 4 variables and done the regression analysis and do this kind of thing. Now, many variables can come from this. So that is the approach. You are sitting on a mine of research, a mine of data, and that you sample. If you want to do sample size, you can do those who offer physics and chemistry courses, what kind of socio-economic background come, what is the education level, income level, etc. You can do, and many analysis, and then who are performing better, who are performing average, all those things. You are sitting on a mine of data, and that would be very useful for those who are educational planners, I'm telling, or your own institution development. And if you want to take any other society, community, adopt a village and see all aspects of the village. As I said, we adopted 84, 86 of the village Harsuru, and the data information of Harsuru was completely, even the how this what you call the gobar gas plant is working or not, why it's not working, what that, and they came out with all the analysis and other things. So point is that you adopt, you get enormous amount of information, data, and useful. And luckily, the data technology is very enabling it now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You can take a census of certain things. I mean, yes, you are very important part. First is that how to orient the student. First, both orient student and teacher both. They like the. What is the first? You take those as Chopra, then the voluntarily who would like to participate in this one, because that is the beginning. Maybe 10 students come, maybe for 20 students, maybe 50 students, and then orient them about the how to, what is the importance of it, how it does it, how it helps you, a kind of a what we call orientation, inspiring them and working there, and then enlarge the circle. Don't get into larger circle and then stop it because of larger circle, the larger requirement of management, etc. So voluntarily, those you say that we are trying to analyze the problems of this type. Let us say, in chemistry you want to do physics, or in the socio-economic aspect you want to do, so that who anybody is volunteer, or you come out with a problem of your society and then we'll take it. So voluntariness would be a very important beginning. And don't say that you should engage in it. If let them come out and then they orient them for a week or 10 days slowly, not necessarily, and then give them glimpses of what is happening in other places, how things are being done. Chopra's example, like there are many other institutions doing this kind of work. Your own institution is doing this. So then that would be a change. So my submission that yes, they may not be. Don't take students a larger body getting into it. No, that will never be. It will be all those who are voluntarily, and then message goes to other students, those who are sitting on the fringe and they want to do something good. And then a group is being formed, and that message goes out that work is being done in this manner. And that message brings the change in the culture. That is what I'm suggesting. Yes, please. They raised a very student's problem.
Sir, can I ask?
Yeah, please.
Sir, this kind of voluntary work which you are suggesting, it is different from what is being done at the project level or major research, and different from what my 3 college is also doing. So here, can we have, like our principal also suggests that with every teacher, you should have more number of students so that more students learn, instead of having one teacher with only 2 students. So what is the number you would be suggesting? Because then if we are asking them to go to the field with the Google form, so and we want more students to learn, so we can have maybe 6 to 10 students per teacher in this case?
You decide about it. The number you should decide because suppose you want to do a little larger level, a project, and you want that a student should be collecting data from larger, many number of, then you have decide your problem which you are taking it. If you require that, no, we need only 3 or 4 students to do this work and other in this particular project and this much of areas, etc. So that should decide. The optimality of the number would depend on the level of project you have taken. If a project is that, let's say we took a project, I'll tell you about Teachers Commission project. We took Teachers Commission project in Nepal, and we had to collect 27,000 teachers' data. And then we engaged about several universities and several colleges for doing this. So then it depends on a kind of a level of work you are doing. Suppose you are doing a particular aspect of a particular, and you say that 3 or 4 students would be. There is one is that you are talking about educating the student. This other is that involving student to do work of research and developing research. Number is it would depend on the problem you are taking. Just don't take student for that they will learn. Yes, they will learn in any case, but it should be manageable. If your project doesn't require 10 students, you don't have to take 10 students. You take 5 students, you take 3 students. What your project requires. If you say that I'll collect the information from 5 communities or 10 communities, then 2 students will never be able to do it. So then you have 1 student assigned with one area and about 50 household, and that's manageable. Then and then coming and bringing that together. So it would depend on the level of information you want to collect, level of project you are having. That should determine if the 10 communities data or 10 or 50 or about 500 household data is to be collected. 2 students will never be able to do, and they should not be engaged in this. You have to have 10 students and 1 student doing about a manageable number of household and very effectively doing it. So it would depend on the project which you are taking. So there is no sacrosanct number. They have taken 2 projects because they want to train the student to do the research and write the paper and that kind of. That's a different approach. But I'm talking with here, teacher and student join together, do research, and then jointly publish the paper. I'm not talking of only student publishing the paper, but jointly publishing the paper for that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other point which you have? What are the difficulties you encounter? Let me ask you, what are the difficulties you come across when you are talking to the teachers or students to come together to do some kind of voluntary work or come, sit together and do this? What kind of difficulties you can encounter?
Sir, if I can share, when we started with Young Researchers Forum in our college, one difficulty which we faced was that we felt that some of the teachers themselves were not trained enough to carry out the research properly, because we were told by the convener, there was a convener of this cell, that at the end of the research, he was asking some teachers to give the abstract, and she was telling me on one-to-one basis, I hope nobody quotes me, that, you know, some, not all, some had written very well, but few of them could not even write. They didn't. She told me that they don't even know what an abstract is. And then she was saying, ma'am, how can I tell the people, how can I tell my fellow beings, they are my colleagues, so they are not my students. How do I tell them that, you know, this is not how you should do it? So, sir, when we are now like people, teachers here are sitting and attending this FDP, I think teachers themselves also need to know exactly, because not everybody is at the same level. When people are from different disciplines, they think differently. Their research methodology is also different. So somewhere there has to be a common ground where all the teachers come together and frame how they will do the research, what will be the different steps. And in fact, I liked it a lot, the way Maitri College is doing it, that they have an internship. So in internship, they have also SOPs defined. So those kind of things, because Professor Alka, like, she has completed all the projects which she took. But I think in the second round, we got very few projects. In the first round, we had 10. So somehow things fizzled out. And now what Dr. Satya has taken up, that is another initiative is picking up. They are doing well. But in the first lot, because COVID also happened in between, so we could not sustain it, despite the cell being formed in the college. That was one problem we faced.
Can I suggest something? View this as a club. Why as a club? When we go for a common thing for sitting, talking, discussing, etc. So as a first step, I think if different disciplines people come, different subject people, they should engage themselves in a discussion and talks. And that in talks, they should share certain things, etc. Then come out the kind of, can we sit together and work out a problem? And then you engage your students also in this approach, and orient the student properly, give them idea properly, and then a voluntary means, why I use the word, one is that you are doing it because you have to get the credit for the for NAC, or you have to do this thing, or you want to, other doing for the sake of fun, for the sake of enjoyment. and then different discipline club. Club means that voluntarily coming together for people from different discipline, talking about it. Yes, this is a problem. In my subject, this problem gets into this kind of arena. In your area, this is socioeconomic people will say something. Health, the biological person would say something as you find it. So that becomes the first and foremost step. The fizzling out takes place because that will take place. You know, there is nothing I say linear growth path. In academic processes, there are no linear growth path, and therefore sometimes we make a mistake of saying that there is a linear growth path. No, there is a problem, and then slowly it's built up, and that problem then you find one level to another level, then again slowing down, then again, and that is required. That is necessary for the system. So I would suggest fizzling out is as a part of the thing. One should not get disappointed for that, but culture should continue in this. And then new culture of which I am suggesting is a new culture of voluntarily coming out and let's say talk together a particular issue, and then say, can we think of having some kind of database to analyze whether this thing is happening or not? You know, that culture I'm talking about it. That's change I'm talking about. Of course, because of now everybody says that colleges should engage, and that they would engage, teachers would engage for doing research, etc. But change in the culture in terms of approach and looking at and voluntary way. I'm looking at so it lasts long. As I said, the new entrants, they also start joining. New club people also come in that club, and they say, oh, and that becomes very important club. There is a one club called Club of Rome that is in, and they are Laszlo was this in that, and they were earlier talking limits to growth. Then he came out, no limits to education. So that kind of voluntarily, that was the highland people, but a voluntary level culture wherein the kind of work you will be doing will be unique, let me tell you frankly, and that kind of work may not be easily available because with other people, because they are sitting on a mine of a gold mine of data, information, and the people around, which is very rare. So that is where I'm saying you are doing very good. There may be visiting. Don't use it as a kind of, yes, we have to do necessary research, we have to publish this paper, we have to. In fact, UGC is also coming out with a relaxing the norm for that you not necessarily engage, put them to publish the research paper even after PhD immediately. That's something if they are changing. But point is engaging yourself further, doing a kind of inquiry, investigation, research, outcome, helping to the society, contributing to the knowledge field, etc. That's kind of approach I'm talking about. Yes, please go ahead. Any other difficulty? Difficulty you expressed was very real, and that difficulty will come. And it takes long time to change the culture. It takes a long time to change the culture, and it takes also when it builds it, you would find it also takes long time to decline, deteriorate. That's the issue of this guy. But changing is very important thing.
Thank you so much. And sir, you have spent so much time to change our mindset. I think mindset also needs a change. We can now visualize what you are saying. Otherwise, as academicians, we're always thinking of the other two extremes. We never think of this middle, which is more productive for the country. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, academics has a very interesting part. I often say that if you want to have the criticism, and that's also important part, the culture of criticism is also very, very, very much prevalent in the system. And no other system has as much of cultural criticism as the education system. And that's very good, because then you are looking at a negative aspect, and you are also seeing what more positive aspect can take place. So this will happen, but changes are coming. Changes are coming very effectively, and it is contributing. Your contribution will be recognized. I'm telling you, people may not. I've been talking about it for several years, that your contribution will be immediately recognized. University contribution has a different kind of. University staff personal contribution has a different level. Your contribution will be direct and more dealing with the ground level situation. That is where the change would go, and then you will be more consulted. Right now, university officers are consulted because larger issues, micro issues, etc. But when the comes the question now tomorrow, as I said that ICSR launched this project of what is the position of development of the villages which are adopted by the parliamentarian. And now they want empirical analysis to do it. Who can do better empirical analysis? Those who are very close to that area where the village has been adopted. University people will come, they'll engage the research person, but that will come partly, but so in any area, fauna and flora aspect, I used to do botanical survey of India. The best course of getting into fauna and flora, engage the botany student in neighboring college, and then work out that area, earmark that area, tell the methodology of doing it, and that would bring over the thing. So that is where the things are there. Yes, please. Is it a kind of other problem comes to finance and the person saying earlier said it will not help you in your growth path, in your career development, or kind of is that kind of criticism comes from the colleagues and the other thing?
We didn't receive such kind of resistance because college was offering some money for that time, because pre-COVID we had asked that we will pay for the printing of the questionnaires, but later on students started working with Google Forms, and I think that kind of money students are also spending on their report writing and all.
Can I add something here?
Yes, Alka, please.
Yeah, because as their mentor, I found that the students themselves were so motivated that they didn't realize that they needed the money. They would spend on their own, get the work done. So the money part never came into their minds.
Very good.
That was a hindrance. That was never a hindrance. They were so motivated to get that data and to write a report the way it had to be presented. So I think I was lucky enough to have that kind of students who were really interested in learning rather than thinking of all those hindrances.
Yeah. The credit, once you give to them, they'll be very happy about this credit. They can go and tell the new employer that I have done this work.
Yeah, they got into University of Manchester. 3 of my students have got into universities abroad and MBA students, and they've got into that because of that research project which they presented so well.
Exactly. Outside admission, we had a student doing the what we call international baccalaureate, that is at the 12th K12 of international diploma, international IB diploma, international baccalaureate diploma, and she was doing work and then she said that I would like to do a little work with your NGO, and I'd like to. And she collected data of we were doing some work on the microfinance. And microfinance of over 100 or 200 days and etc. She collected data in 3 or 4 days and told me that this is the kind, and applied the formula and did it, and then she was selected in the highest ranking university in the USA. So this becomes a part of their learning and also verifying what they have learned through the
absolutely, sir. Research-based teaching and learning is one of the best ways of teaching students.
Any other question, Sunita, or any other person? I'm not seeing them. Ednola, now I'd like to invite Ednola Kinta.
Sir, I'm Sunita. Good evening, sir.
Now, next person is Ednola Kinta. You go ahead, Sunita. Yes.
Okay, sir. My suggestion, you can say, see, if there are many fruits on a tree, it doesn't mean that every fruit grow in the end or every fruit will ripe very well. So my suggestion in that case, if the proposal comes up, I mean, if the people brings the proposal up, so I think everybody should be encouraged. Means I know every proposal will not be very good और मे बी कि रिजल्ट बहुत अच्छे नहीं होंगे, बट स्टिल आई थिंक द पीपल हु आर ब्रिंगिंग अप, हु आर गेटिंग मीन्स हु आर ट्राइंग टू ब्रिंग द प्रपोजल्स, तो मुझे लगता है कि दे शुड बी एनकरेज टू गो विद द प्रपोजल्स. ज्यादा फाइनेंस अगर उसमें इन्वॉल्व नहीं है तो ठीक है, दे शुड बी एनकरेज. हो सकता है कि उनके जब एंड की तरफ जाएं तो दे शुड बी, दे विल बी गिविंग द गुड रिजल्ट्स. तो देन ओनली वी कैन गो. अगर हम हर प्रपोजल में यही देखेंगे कि दिस इज नॉट अ गुड प्रपोजल और इसको अच्छा होना चाहिए था, या फर्स्ट स्टेज पे उसको रिजेक्ट कर दिया जाएगा, तो आई थिंक कि उससे फिर पीपल गेट डिमोरलाइज्ड. तो मुझे लगता है कि सभी को चांस देना चाहिए. whatever is the result is, we can wait for. मतलब it is my humble suggestion.
You are right. You are very right. You are very right. If a proposal is coming, you should give the person chance. What best you can do when somebody comes also that can you think of changing it little bit and help them to make it better?
Yes, yes. Suggestions are always invited. Suggestions.
Not reject. Rejection is the first level of discouragement, and the person doesn't get into the approach. So my suggestion that no question, as I said, no question is a bad question. You can modify the question. You can no proposal is a bad proposal. Only wherever you think that they are missing settlement. Or normally when you try, you become very emotional, very effective, and then you said here some kind of objectivity and kind of dispassionate should come in. And that
yes. Yeah, modification components may be added. Means that can be done. Yes, but it should not be rejected at very first stage.
Never reject, because they are not research students.
Right.
They need not be. They need not be.
They should be encouraged. They should be encouraged for that. That's it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Adenola, Quenta, I'm inviting you, and this is how I take the attendance. Adenola, Quenta. I see the 48 persons or earlier 53 persons were there, 56 persons there. Let me share with you, you may get into real trouble. Reason being, we are going to put up a question, the test soon. I already said that, and that test would be about your learning outcome. If you have put the camera, the computer on, and you are moving around, talking about, you will have a difficult time to answer those questions. So therefore, I am just suggesting that I particularly invited, if I know the name, one can invite occasionally the persons who are there, and then they should, yes. Who is coming forward from this number? Any question if you like to ask? I asked the Kinta says she is on, but I don't find she is responding. Can you respond, Kinta? No. It's that is where the problem. Can you give me another name, Prasant?
Another name
from outside.
Sukransha Kumar.
Sukransha Kumar. Are you around?